Hey, Dan Meyer here, and today we're going to nerd out once again and talk about business dashboards, one of my favorite topics. Now, recently I dropped a video talking about how to bring dashboards back to life, because the dashboard itself is going on like 30 years, almost 20 plus years of common usage. But the idea really behind dashboards is something we've been doing for quite a while, mainly in Excel and then in applications like Tableau and now more recent things like Power BI. And there are dozens of tools out there, actually hundreds of tools out there that can build business dashboards. So what I want to do today is talk about what are the top dashboards for when you're working with SaaS or software as a service, SaaS, right? So the idea is that you can do a lot of your own work with these dashboards as far as the programming behind the scenes. There's something that's easy to use or something that you can download or access with some kind of support. So basically, when you talk about business dashboards, these are ones that are mentioned by an article in a blog called What a Graph. Genetaris Baltulovikas is the author of the blog post, and basically I took what he did and kind of put my own spin on it, because I think dashboards are something that you want to stay in the cutting edge of dashboards, but you also want to make sure you never get away from what the core, the dashboard is. So when I think of dashboarding tools, I want to make sure that there are things that we can do things with, so that we can really actually add value to the business beyond just reporting, but also to share insights, to be able to give actionable insights. So based on what this article and this blog post talked about, 8 different dashboard tools that are all ones that are software as a service or SaaS dashboards tools can be used. So I want to take you through each one. And as I do that real quick, just going to kind of highlight them and then talk about some of the key things that I think are tips in good dashboard design, and which of the 8 tools is good at which tips. So just a little bit of background about myself. For those of you that aren't familiar with me, I spent 15 years at Wells Fargo Bank, doing a lot of big data stuff. I've made tons and tons of dashboards. I was one of the pioneers in the bank when it came to using dashboards for management decision making. And after 10 years or 15 years at Wells Fargo, the last 10 years I spent being an entrepreneur. A big chunk of that has been training management teams and analyst teams. I've trained over 8,000 analysts in Southeast Asia, predominantly in the Philippines, on how to use analytics, how to use data for better decision making. And a core part of every talk I've ever given when it comes to analytics always talks about dashboards as the most common way and the best way to take a lot of complicated data and take those numbers and make sense of them for people that are not nerds, that aren't data people that are people in management. And they need to be able to look at data quickly and make decisions. So it's got to be data that is contextual, that is simple to understand. It's got to be well managed as far as the data has to be current, has to be as real time as possible. It has to be accessible. It has to be something you can sort and do things with on the fly. There are a lot of things that you want out of your data in a dashboard. And the first one I'm going to talk about today really is called Datapine. And Datapine is a tool that has a lot of templates that are being used for different industries. It's got customizable dashboards, but it's kind of like, you basically take a template like you would on WordPress if you ever have built a website, and then you would kind of modify that theme or that template to fit what you need. It's not the biggest one in the market. It's not the best one in the market, but it's one of the ones people are talking about a lot. The interactiveness of the dashboards is what really makes Datapine special. And that's really the key, I think I want to talk about. My first tip is interactive dashboards, right? So you want something that people don't have to just look at and be told what they're seeing. You want something people can play with the data, can manipulate the data, can do things that allow them to interact with it. And this is something that's been around for a while, but a lot of us still are stuck in the idea where we have to make static dashboards, where basically we're just making a glorified report. And that dashboard has got some cool visuals on it of what we think people want to see, but we're not giving them the ability, whether it be technology or training, we're not giving them the ability to kind of do their own exploration. Datapine is really great at that. The next one I'll mention is called Clipfolio. Clipfolio is something that is built really for social media. It's designed to really work well with Google Analytics with HubSpot. It allows you to compare targets. It's really helps you figure out, I guess, the idea of your portfolio. What are the things that are doing well, what are not doing so well, and helps you do comparisons between different products, different geographic locations, different departments, whatever it is you want to be able to do the comparisons. One of the cool things about Clipfolio is they built it so that it's accessible on all devices, right? So it's really geared towards looking at data on a mobile app or a tablet. They have a bunch of different widgets that you can use, pretty easily set up. So Clipfolio is one that I would recommend if you really just want to kind of get out there and start doing some basic comparisons of different data sets. The next one I'll talk about is called Geckoboard. And Geckoboard displays a lot of the KPIs in what looks like a TV screen concept, right? So the idea really is that you have this be showing on a floor, like a call center floor or a production floor, or an environment where you have a lot of people that are constantly looking at numbers to make sure that you're meeting your KPIs. Geckoboard is one that I haven't used myself, but I've heard good things about it. It's got really good reviews, and really the ability to convert the data to simple and easy to understand visualization is important, especially because if you're trying to show it on a screen where people can kind of, as they're walking by, see what's going on in the business, right? So I always think of my experience in the call center industry where you want to know how many calls are in queue, what's the average wait time for a customer to get to an agent, how many agents are in queue, how you can staff it, how you can bring in more agents to handle more call volume, how you can be more proactive. I think about that when I look at Geckoboard's examples of what they're being able to do with trying to manage data, especially visually. The next one I'll mention is called Scifi. I've used Scifi a little bit. It's been around for a while. They're really trying to take marketing aspects of dashboarding, really designed to be able to kind of look at how things are going in the marketing plan, I think is where they first got started. They have some free dashboards. They have a lot of built-in services. The cool thing about Scifi is it allows you to easily archive your data history and pull it back up. So you can look at historical trends. You can look at things over time. This is, again, where marketing really, I think, benefits from Scifi, because you're able to kind of look at what people are doing over time as far as what your clients are doing, what they're buying, what they're clicking on, what they've been doing, and you can see patterns pretty quickly. The best thing about business dashboarding, of course, is be able to identify patterns in data by looking at charts and graphs versus looking at the raw data. Scifi is really good at that. The next one is called Good Data. It can allow you to import data from cloud-based sources. It's very much a sit on top of a bunch of different data sources. It's got some pre-built templates. The dashboard's interactive and provide numerous tables and graphs. You know, it's something that I haven't played with, but I like the way it looks. The visuals that it designs are pretty slick. And like all these tools, its ability to integrate easily with other applications, whether SaaS or SaaS or software as a service applications, because you want to integrate stuff, right? So very few of us are using our dashboards in a standalone way. A lot of us are using dashboards where we're integrating different data sources and we're publishing dashboards into different places where people can access them. So Good Data may be a good one to check out that. The next one is called Sisense, and Sisense gathers and manages data like all the others from different sources, and also allows you to do a lot of visualizations. The cool thing about Sisense is that it allows you to take snapshots of your data, right? So all of these have various ways to allow you to share your data. But one of the cool things that Sisense does is it allows you to actually prepare your visualization of the data in a way that you can share it as a snapshot, right? So it's a good way for people to take something and go talk about it at a quick staff meeting, to have data to update, senior management, to be able to share with, your clients what's going on in their business or whatever you're using your dashboarding for. The ability to share that data in a quick and easy visual is really important. The next one I'll talk about really is called Burst. I've used Burst before. It's pretty cool. It's been around a while. Burst is really good at allowing you to scale up your data. There's a lot of really cool features for using HTML. So if you're using a lot of web data, and Burst has been around a while and they constantly update their stuff. In fact, they have a lot of regular releases, which is something you should think about in all your dashboarding tools. How often are they releasing new things to keep it up to date, right? So Burst is something that, like all the others, has good visualizations, allows you to play a lot of stuff. But I really like the fact that Burst has been around a while and they keep their stuff current. And then, of course, there's my all-time favorite business dashboard tool has always been Tableau. I was one of the early adopters of Tableau. I've been using Tableau for 15 years plus now, quite a while. Tableau is just the easiest to use, right? Tableau's ability to drag and drop, to be able to have some AI that kind of prompts you what to do. Like, I love how Tableau will tell you what kind of visual is best for the data that you have selected. The ability to use geographic data, there's nobody that's even close as far as all the abilities to build maps. Basically, Tableau is the gold standard. There's other ones in the market that come and go that are kind of pushing Tableau to stay on the cutting edge. Like Power BI, when it first came out, took a big market share from Tableau, but Tableau's managed to survive just fine. You look at some of the other ones out there I mentioned before, like Burst, they've been around a while. They've always been kind of like in Tableau's shadow. So Tableau to me is the granddaddy of them all. It's the one that if you really are just getting started with dashboards, never used dashboards before, start with Tableau, start with their simple stuff, and there's so much tutorials. Of all the BI tools out there, Tableau has the most active user base with the most case studies out there you can learn from. There's the most people on YouTube talking about dashboards. They're talking about Tableau. It's easy to find resources to help you master Tableau. That's the best thing about it. It's just easy to use. And I've used it myself. I've trained, hundreds of analysts on how to use Tableau. And I talk about it pretty much every time I talk about business dashboarding because it's always been my favorite. So there you go. So those are some 8 tools, right? There are more out there. These are just the ones that were mentioned in the article by Giantaras. And I wanted to again give him props for creating this blog post that inspired me to share it with you. Because really what my goal for you is to think about all the data you have in your business and how you can bring it together into ability to look at and analyze and take action, right? What are your top, metrics, your key performance indicators, your KPIs that you need to know about on a regular basis, and you want to have them visualized and accessible for you 24/7. You can do that yourself, or you can hire an analyst to do that for you. If you don't want to hire a full-time employee, you can hire a virtual assistant that has a background in analytics to be able to do some of this for you, especially if you're going to use Tableau. There are people that have used Tableau all over the world that can work 24/7 on whatever it is you want your data to do. So basically, that's what I want to talk to you about today, is kind of share with you my thoughts on this article and talk to you about the tips that I think of when I think of the different top Tableau and other BI tools or business intelligence tools like these dashboarding tools. So that's it for today. Thank you for your time. Now go out there and analyze some data.